evening, Guzzlers. Nice G&T tonight, courtesy of Maidstone Gin Distillery, George Bishop Gin and Tonic. Very nice. Actually, we went there today. Didn't have a gin and tonic there, mind you, but might have to soon. Right, tonight we're doing Japanese, okay? And it's quite a simple dish. It's not a traditional Japanese dish. It in one way resembles sushi, but it's not, okay? And it does require certain ingredients that you may need to prepare in advance, or well, really one that you need to prepare in advance, and that is, and I do have a video where I've made this before, and actually I've just made it again, slightly different recipe, so that will be going up about the same time as this one will. Beef shigureni, okay? Now, the only other thing you're going to need is some nori, the seaweed, you know, that you wrap your sushi in, which is why people think it's sushi, but it's not. Some rice, steamed rice. I've cooked that in the microwave, that's busy cooling down. We'll see why you want it cool. What we're going to do first though is we're going to blanch some baby spinach. So obviously you're going to need a pan of hot water for that. I've got a whole bag of spinach there. Okay, we're going to be making 4 of these sushi looking things, okay? So, excuse me, that's for 4. Okay, but I'll go through the other ingredients as we go. You're going to want some eggs. What else do you want? Eggs, soy sauce, a little bit of oil to cook your eggs in. But essentially that's it, apart from this stuff. Katsuobushi, or bonito flakes. Okay, you're going to want some of that. I've got some pickled ginger here, but I'm just going to have that as a little aside. That's not as part of the dish, that's purely optional. Okay, and because it's Japanese night, I know, but I've just had a gin, some sake. Couldn't find me traditional sake things, wife's put them away somewhere. Anyway, let's get that on to boiling. Let's get preparing, and then I'll tell you next one what we're making. So my pan's just come up to boil, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put this baby spinach into that, and we just basically want, we just want to blanch it using chopsticks is handy. Just stubbed it and it just pulls it out, look. And what we want to do is just blanch it, and then we're going to drain it and let it cool. Now I know you can't really see, but what I've got there is I've got a good handful of the katsuobushi bonito flakes, and I've given it a bit of a chopping up because we're going to mix that in with that. So the bowl that I took my spinach out, I'm going to put that spinach back when it's drained, and I've squeezed the water out of it, which is why I need it to cool first. And we're going to put that in there. We're going to mix it with the bonito flakes and a little bit of, no, not sake, a little bit of soy sauce. So it shouldn't take very long to blanch this. Okay, we just give it another minute or 2, and then I'll get draining that. Like I say, let it cool enough that we can squeeze the water out of it and chuck it in that bowl. You can chuck it, or you can place it, or you can carefully compress the inside of the bowl with it. Don't forget. Now, while we're waiting for that spinach to cool, what we're going to do is we're going to fry our eggs. Okay. Now, ideally, you're going to want to put a lid over it, but I haven't got a lid that fits over this, and I could use my other pan with a lid, but I'm not using it. I'm also only using these rings simply because normally when I do eggs in this pan, they spread out everywhere, and I want to try and keep them fairly well condensed. And I've just realised I haven't told you what I'm making. We are making some Onigirazu. Now these, like I said, they resemble sushi, but they're not. Okay, many people think they're sushi because they're wrapped in like the nori, with rice and that, but they were sort of invented about 1990. I can't believe it may even come from like a Japanese cooking comic book or something, and it's like a snack meal. It's like a lunchbox meal that you could have, obviously, in your lunchbox to take to work for lunch. So it's a cold thing, okay, and you can essentially have it in any ingredients you want inside it, but it's generally nori wrapped around some rice with other ingredients. Now there is a similar version, a bit like a sushi, onigiri, I think that's how you pronounce it, which is like a formed, as in it's like a triangle package. This isn't, it's a rectangular package, but that apparently isn't considered formed, and therefore it's not onigiri, or whatever you call it, onigiri. So this is onigirazu, and what we're going to be putting in it is some spinach with bonito and soy sauce, some beef shigureni, and fried egg. Oh, and steamed rice. Okay, so I've already got my rice cooked, cooling there. I've got my beef shigureni cooked. I've got my spinach blanched and cooling down, which we'll then add to the bowl with soy sauce and these bonito flakes. And so what we're going to do while we're waiting, we're just going to cook these eggs. And like I said, you don't have to use any egg rings. I'm just trying to keep them fairly contained. I mean, ideally you want square ones, because you'll see when we wrap it, okay, square ones would work better. So I'm just going to cook that now. As it happened, I do have 4 rings. I couldn't find the 4th, so I'm going to cook the 4th egg in a minute. So because we're going to make, the way we make these, we're going to be sliced them in half, so you have 2 halves each, but they ain't going to be very big, right? When you consider the parcel is going to be made out of one of them, okay, so I'm making double the amount. So you're going to want an egg per wrapped parcel, so we're going to need 4 eggs. So I'm just going to cook these. Now we let them cook, to you Americans, over easy, all right. Like I say, we might want to put a lid over it, but we haven't got a lid to put over this. And then once they're sort of firmed up a little bit, we're going to flip them and then just briefly cook the other side. Don't really want them crispy. So I've removed the rings from the first 3. I've created the 4th one. Well, created. I started cooking the 4th one. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to flip the eggs over. Okay. Like I say, we don't want the bottoms crispy. Okay. And ideally we want them square, because you'll see once we come to, that conveniently went every bloody way, except where I wanted it. Okay, because of the way we're going to wrap the parcel. But I just wanted it a bit more contained and spread out like it tends to. I don't think my oven's level. So, your spinach is almost cool. Just tried it, but it was a bit hot in the hand, so I'll just let it cool a bit more. So we'll finish cooking these, and then we'll just put them to one side. Okay, this does involve cold egg, because like I said, it is like a lunchbox type thing, so it will be cold. And I know you feel we're like, what? Cold egg, it can't eat cold egg. It'll have hot egg, he won't have cold egg. Don't quite know the difference, but there you go. So that's my spinach squeezed out and dried. What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to put those bonito flakes into that, and then we want some soy sauce, and we want 2 tablespoons of that. Now we're obviously going to have to sort of partly break up that spinach, because obviously I've squeezed it all together. So I'm going to have to get my hands in here for that one, okay? And all we're going to do is we're just going to mix all this together, Okay, and then we're just going to put that to one side. I've just flipped the final egg, and in fact actually I've flipped one of the other eggs over as well. So the eggs are just about there. So final ingredient is obviously our nori, but we'll also want some cling film, because we're going to wrap the package, the onigirazu, in cling film before we slice it in half. So essentially each package will have one egg, a quarter of this mixture. It's going to have, I say a quarter of the beef shigureni. It's going to have about a quarter of a cup if you want to be American, okay? And it's going to have about a total of about a cup of rice. So we just need to sort of divide our different ingredients into about 4, which I think I've just about done fairly evenly with that stuff. Okay, so I'm just going to put that there, just going to wash my hand, wait for the eggs to finish, and then we'll start wrapping. No, I'm not NMM, thank you. Right, creating the onigirazu, take 3. Take 1 was almost 100%, but about 98% of the way there, my bloody gimbal ran out of power and cut out. So you missed the very, very end. But up to that point, it was perfecto. Take 2 was a bit of a disaster. Didn't really work. So here's take 3. So you might get to see take 2 in like a bloomer. Take 1, a blooper, sorry, not a bloomer. Bloody hell. Must be the wine. I'm on the rosé now. Very nice chilled Kylie Minogue, a rosé. Anyway, so what I do is I take some rice, which by now is getting a little bit all stuck together. So I just want to break that up a little bit. And I've got a little cup here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put about half of that cup in the middle there and just press it down lightly. Okay, and then I'm going to take one of my portions of spinach and bonito flakes and just spread that lightly on top. And then we take one of the fried eggs and we put that on top. And then we take a portion of our beef shigureni and we put that on top. And then finally we take another sized portion of the rice and we put that on top, if it wants to come out this time, and we lightly press it down. Okay, I might add a little bit more rice on that one. I've been a bit tight on that rice. No, this one is now falling apart because my hand's all sticky. Let me just have a quick wash because the rice is sticking to me and the nori is probably going to stick to me as well. And what we do now is we lift up the corners on either side, bring them together, be careful it doesn't tear like I did in the last one, tuck the sides in, lift that corner up. Okay, like I said, if you're good at wrapping parcels, you'll be good at this. If you're crap at this, either it's going to be crap or get someone else to wrap it. So there you go, and then what we do is we take that cling film and we're going to tightly wrap that in that cling film to make our little package, which we can square off if we want. So that's 3 of them done. I'm just going to make the 4th and then we're almost ready to serve it up. Now these, like I said, are like lunchbox type snacks if you like, but we're going to serve it with a little bit of the beef shigureni if it's any left over. I've got some pickled ginger. I might have a little dash of soy sauce if you want it, optional. And if you had any, but I just realised I didn't have any, you could have a little bit of wasabi with it. But I mean, that's all optional, it's entirely up to you. So I'm just going to finish off, do my last one, and then we'll do the finishing touches, as it were. So we take our little package wrapped in cling film still, and this is where now we're just going to slice it in half, and there you go. You can see there the final package. This one feels like it's going to fall apart, and all we're going to do is we're just going to peel off that cling film, place it on our dish. That one's going to be a bit of a bug. This was the first one I did, and actually I thought this was the better wrap one, but actually it's been a little bit fragile. But there we go. There is our Onigirazu, I think that's how you pronounce it. Alright, our little wrapped parcel of rice, spinach with bonito, flakes and soy sauce, beef shigureni and a fried egg, which I'm serving with a accompaniment of pickled ginger. There's a little bit of beef shigureni left over and some soy sauce. Now I might taste this one because I'm going to give this one to the wife because this one's going to look better. And also, if you remember, I've made another one of them each. Okay, but there you go. Japanese Onigirazu. And you can put any fillings in it you like. It's just nori with steamed rice and whatever you like. Enjoy.